boy K-Flex, and I'm back here with yet another video. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about prospect Rondelle Moore. Okay, out of Purdue. He's getting a lot of hype right now because his combine was kind of crazy. People see things that they would not see out of this guy. So he's building up a lot of hype now. He's projected to be a second rounder or a third rounder. He's a wide receiver out of Purdue. Maybe you know him, maybe you don't. I'm just giving you the cliff notes right now so we can get into it, a basis. Okay, so we're gonna talk about him. One thing about him, and the big thing about him is he's 5'7", and that's what makes things that he's doing so incredible. Okay, he's 5'7". So we're gonna get into this prospect. I'm gonna talk about him and whether or not we should get him. But real quick, shout out to people who hit the like before they even heard the sentence. Now let's get into the video. Rondelle Moore, 5'7", runs a 4.29, jumps a 42-inch vertical, and weighs 180 pounds, okay? Junior, he's coming to the draft this year. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a guy who in the second round, to be honest, probably had the most upside and the most potential out of any prospect that we could draft in this position when it comes to the second round. By the way, I'll let you guys know whether or not I would want to draft him in a second. I know there's going to be people that agree and disagree with me. Okay, just like the Kyle Pitts video where a lot of people agreed. Some people disagreed. A lot of people disagree. It is what it is. It's going to happen with these draft videos. The key to understanding is that none of us know what any of these prospects are going to do at the end of the day. Yes, we can say this guy's a good prospect. This guy's a great prospect. Everybody's a great prospect. That's how they get drafted, okay? Everybody's great in college, okay? You don't really get drafted unless you're really good in college. All right. So for people to be like, oh, well, this guy's really good in college, you don't know what this guy's really good in college. That's the dumbest statement that you can make as it pertains to a prospect because all of them are good. All right. It's about how it translates to the NFL. And let me tell you, you just don't know that. You never know that with any of these. I don't care who you name. The most surest guy that you think is going to be great, you never know. And if you did know, there would be no such thing as bust. Alright, the reason that bust exists is because we don't know. Alright, even the experts that y'all think are experts don't know. Okay, these experts, they get all these expert picks wrong every year. And, you know, they got all these people regurgitating what they say about these prospects and all the expert analysis. And then the guys get drafted and they end up sucking and these experts are wrong. And guess what they do the next year? They do the same thing and you guys regurgitate the information again. And so that's just how it goes, okay? But truthfully, nobody knows, alright? Let's get into it. First and foremost, let's start talking about his career. Okay? So his first year, he had 12 touchdowns. He had one of the best freshman years in college football. And he had 12 touchdowns, a bunch of yards. I'll put his stats up on the board. But after his freshman year, he really didn't play much, okay? His sophomore year, he ended up getting injured with a hamstring injury. Only was able to play a few games, missed most of the season. And then his last year, he was out due to COVID protocol. I think he pulled out because he didn't want to play. Ended up playing only a couple of games that year. So we really haven't really seen much of him since his freshman year. But when he was on the field, he was amazing. Now, another problem that people are seeing with this guy is that like 90% of his routes or 70% of his routes were all within 9 yards of the line of scrimmage. Again, he was like a gadget type of player. And you know, a lot of his catches was off screens and stuff. So people question whether or not he could be a deep threat wide receiver, which I don't really think is much of a question because when you're that fast and you can cut that quickly, I don't see how you couldn't get open on be a deep threat. Like when you're that fast and you can cut that quickly, I don't see how you couldn't. Just because, you know what I'm saying, he didn't get the opportunity to prove that he could catch deep balls on a consistent basis because that's not what the scheme was, doesn't mean he can't do it, okay? So that's one thing. All right. His pros, okay, he's very, very shifty, probably the shiftiest person in college football. Very, very small, got to tackle. So if you're trying to tackle him, it's going to be very, very hard to tackle him. He's fast, he gets space, he's not getting caught. These are all the positives. He has the upside, guys, to be a next Tyreek Hill. If he was a little taller, it's questionable that he could be a first-round draft pick. If he was a little taller, he did what he did, he probably would be a first-round draft pick. All right? But he slipped because due to his injuries and things of that nature, and him being 5'7", he slipped. Now, this guy, to me, could be anything. He could be the next Tyreek Hill, which is disrespectful to Tyreek Hill to compare anybody to him because Tyreek Hill is just a different breed. But let's just say at his ceiling, he could be a Tyreek Hill. So you got to look at him and say, you know, are you willing to take this risk on a guy who is this small? Because, ladies and gentlemen, height don't mean everything, but nobody this small I've never seen a good receiver this small ever. The only ones close is like Steve Smith, who was 5'9", which is 2 inches taller, which in this situation 2 inches matter. Okay, there's a few situations in life where 2 inches matter, and I think this is one of them. Okay, but so he's 5'7". Only receiver I can even think about in recent history that was this small was Trendon Holiday, who was 5'5", and Trendon Holiday obviously was drafted in the 6th round. He wasn't that good. He was a return specialist. So, and so you just don't know. All right. You just don't know what he's going to end up being. Is that 2 inches going to make a difference? Obviously, with running backs, they can be 5'7", 5'8". That's fine. But with receivers, they typically aren't this small. And excuse if y'all keep seeing me look this way. I'm actually at work training right now while I'm making this video. It was important for me to make a video. Bruh. So I'm actually supposed to be paying attention to work training. But yeah, just all right, but anyways. So yeah, Rondelle Moore, he gonna be so risky, but I think in the 2nd round, as a whole, he will be the best player available. People tell me that our wide receiver situation is not fixed, and I agree. Our wide receiver situation, to me, the starters are pretty much figured out, but obviously we have every receiver on our roster really is prone to getting injured, so we just have to be careful and keep building depth. And so this will be a way to build depth. He could be a gadget player. He could be like, he could run the plays that maybe we wanted Curtis Samuel to run whenever. I know a lot of fans wanted Curtis Samuel. And he could really develop into a crazy deep threat and one of the best, most dangerous receivers in the league. On the contrary, he could end up being, you know what I'm saying, a return specialist who is too small to really do anything else. You just never really know, I guess. But I do see a lot of positive things about him. And again, his shiftiness and his ability, his speed is something that you can't pay for. Okay, you can't teach it, you can't make it. It's just something that either you got or you don't got. Okay, so thinking right now that this is probably my favorite 2nd round prospect. I also like the running back from North Carolina. I also like Leatherwood. I also like some other people. But right now, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think of him. He could end up being the steal of the draft, I believe. He could end up, it could go really bad with him, but honestly, I think that he could end up being the absolute steal of the draft if he actually meets his potential. Obviously, you got the concerns with durability when somebody's that small, and then obviously you got the concerns with, pretty much that's really it. Just durability, honestly, when somebody's that small. But again, with a team like us, with the amount of picks that we have, I feel as though we could definitely take that risk. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're these teams where we have to hit on every pick. And to be honest, we're probably not going to hit on every pick because no team hits on every pick. I think that if any team could afford to take this risk, it would be us. And I think that the potential benefits from taking this could be astronomical compared to, you know what I'm saying, if he ends up being a bust or whatever the case may be, I would be okay with taking a risk at that point. And in the simplest terms I could put it is he has the highest ceiling out of anybody in the 2nd round, right? If he makes it to the 2nd round, who knows? You never know with these teams. Somebody might draft him at the end of the 1st. But if he makes it to the 2nd round, he's probably going to have the highest potential out of anybody in the 2nd round. So at that point, yes, I would take him. Get in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about Rondelle Moore. Let me know what you guys think. Did y'all research? Have y'all seen him? Is the size matter? Like, comment, subscribe. Road to 11 kills. I got to get back to work before I get fired. I'm out.